could not react to statements I heard during the weekly press briefing of the Council of Ministers when Minister of Finance, Mr. Perry Halings, was ranting and raving and carrying on like a little spoiled child who was bullied on the playground of one of our schools. That is what he came across like, and not like the Minister of Finance in charge of the finances of this country. My first reaction to it is, wow, what a difference does a year make? Because it is this same Minister, Perry Halings, who a year ago was a member of Parliament supporting the coalition, supporting the government. And immediately following the hurricane, all the things that he is saying today, that we got to work together, we got to come together to build the country and to work in the interest of the country, he didn't seem to know that these same very things were needed then. He was one of the biggest critics. And I'm saying criticism, if founded, is all nice and well. But, I mean, it was clear Perry Halings was on a mission to bring down the government the Democratic Party was supporting at the time, was part of. It was clear as day that was his objective. And today, you're coming with crocodile tears at a press briefing and make sure you walk with your cheerleading squad to give you a round of applause after the statements. But I'm sure the whole of St. Martin is saying, come on, get off it. It is not clear. It is not clear what he was trying to say in reference to the budget. Because here he is saying he delivered the budget in time. He's accusing MPs for posting things on social media, and all they had to do was read the elucidation or ask and they would have known. But you can't ask if the budget debate is postponed. And it isn't postponed when members of Parliament have criticized it, our faction have criticized it, the faction of the USP has criticized it, and your reaction to it is, I'm not postponing it because of their criticism, but I deliver it on time. And then he go on to say that the CFT, after he submitted the budget, he got a letter from the CFT in which the CFT was saying certain things needed to be adjusted. Now, what the minister fell short to explain to the public is what is the real reason for the delay and what it is he is busy doing and when it is exactly the budget debate will begin in Parliament. I, for one, and my faction as a whole, we are looking forward to this debate because government has a lot to answer to. Also, while listening to the press briefing, it was kind of frightening to hear we are almost at the end of the year, just a few more days because the government has a self-proclaimed recess that they're going on. I guess other members of the faction will address that as well. It's the first time in my many years in politics have seen a government that is going on recess. Parliament would go on recess, civil servants would get days off. A government doesn't go on recess. Government can say we won't keep we won't keep a council of ministers meeting this week. But that the government goes on recess, this one is definitely heading for the Guinness Book of Records because I've never seen it before. But it was kind of frightening to hear that towards the end of 2018, again, a full year after the hurricane, government is still to decide on the way forward with the dump. The minister clearly said in the press briefing that they have not made up their mind yet whether it will be waste to energy or it will be straightforward incineration. And he kind of indicated that they are waiting on the World Bank to make that decision for them. And I think it is sad. And I'm sure now Minister Halings would want to react and say, oh, we got to come together and stop criticizing the government. But government has to govern. Government has to lead. The decision as to what we will do has to come from government and not be sitting down, waiting on the World Bank to tell you what it is you got to do.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
Tell them, connecting you.
I've been in the position I'm in now since 2016, but before that I was a commissioner on the sister island of Saba for 9 years. And I had met Emil a few times in between passing different events. But really when I came here, I got to meet him. And I started to wonder how obsessed this guy was with this hospital. Whenever we would have delegations coming over and we would have a meeting request from Minister Lee, they would say, well, what will be the agenda of the meeting? I said, well, I can tell you what the agenda point will be in the meeting, and it will undoubtedly be the hospital. So, Emil, you have put in a lot of hard work here. Your wife is sitting behind you, and you had the right to call her out too. I'm sure she's had to go through a lot dealing with you in this hospital. But again, my heartfelt congratulations. I just wanted to speak briefly about, it ties in with the motto of the SMMC, where it says we care together. And I want to talk about cooperation. And I see both speakers before me have already spoken about cooperation. But you know, my position, being the head of the Dutch Representation Office here in St. Martin, of course, that is an issue that is very close to my heart, and obviously an issue that I hear a lot about. We know that the relationship between St. Martin and the Netherlands isn't always the best one. I can say for all 6 of the Dutch islands in the kingdom, sometimes it feels like a group of people living in one house together, and nobody likes each other at times, nobody wants to leave, people point fingers at each other, and that is maybe an analogy of the world of kingdom relations. You know, however, we have been tied together in the kingdom for hundreds of years. My family originally comes from, like I said, the sister island of Saba, and for 14 generations, my family has lived in the Windward Islands. So we look different, we talk different, we come from a different part of the world than the European part of the Netherlands, but we have been associated with the Kingdom of the Netherlands for 14 generations. And that is many of us here in this room, from all the different islands, we have had a long relationship between St. Martin and the Netherlands, between all of the islands and the Netherlands. And it is my hope that that is a relationship that we can make more fruitful for us. You know, cooperation comes in many different forms. It has many different names. For us, from the Netherlands now, from working for the Netherlands, we now talk about the trust fund. But we talked about during Hurricane Irma, we talked about emergency assistance, talked about early recovery, funding, direct support, what have you. Be it in a different name, at the end of the day, it's all cooperation. And I am of the opinion that we can do more together. I believe, not say I believe, I know that this project symbolizes that. It personifies that cooperation can lead to great advancements for all of our people. So I want to thank all of those who have been involved in this, from the government right back, Council of Ministers, Members of Parliament, Minister Lee went through a whole list. But those who have worked together, who have believed in cooperation throughout this process, and have believed that this will ultimately benefit the people of St. Martin, the big picture. I'm a person that really believes we have to continue focusing on the big picture. And I'm so glad to be here today, to be able to say a few words, to bring this message across. Because there is so much more that we can do together. You know, this is just one aspect of the relationship. And I believe that if we work together, that if we learn how to communicate more positively towards each other, taking in each other's needs, the differences that we have, but if we do that, we can accomplish so much together. When I look at the hospital, I also think that the hospital is a model of cooperation. I want to say a special thank you to the staff of the St. Martin Medical Center. I've actually been here personally a lot the last few months. 2 of my uncles were both here, my mother's brother and my father's brother. And coming here on a daily basis to visit them, I really was in touch with a lot of the medical staff, the doctors, the nurses, security, what have you. And I think that when you see the way a hospital functions, it also shows you that cooperation is necessary. Not only is it helpful, but it's necessary. You know, I'm sure that not all the staff are best of friends with each other. But what you see is that people work together, doctors, nurses, staff, like I said, people learn to function together, and you can see the effect that this has. The effect that it has for the people, the effect that it's had for some of your clients. So a personal thank you from me as well, because, you know, for both of them in very tough positions, it was amazing to see the care and dedication they received. My old Uncle Guy, some of you know, 82-year-old uncle, he said, man, they treat me like a king in here. So he said, you okay, Guy? He said, yes, absolutely. I love it. But you have a hard-working staff, you're dedicated, and now you are celebrating an event, the groundbreaking of a new general hospital. This is a great moment for you all. I won't take up any more of your time. But there are amazing things that we can do together, and all of you deserve the credit that you've received.
Hey ma, how you doing? You busy?
I hear, just paying some bills, taking care of business, you know what it is?
I know, you're doing your online banking.
I don't have to stand in those long lines to pay bills. I can transfer when I want. I can check my account wherever. It's like the bank open 24/7. I even here checking the statement right now as we're talking. How's Miami?
Well, that's why I'm calling. I'm finishing up a few songs now, but I'm afraid that studio time might be more than I thought. And I was wondering if I could get some help with some funds, and I could pay you back as soon as I get back to St. Martin.
Let me check my account. How much you need?
I think 500 should be enough.
I can transfer it to you while online. Direct from me to you. No problem.
Great. Thank you so much, Ma. I'll get online with Viv now.
Alright, darling. You know who you're for?
I need to know who you're for.
Contact WIB today for your complete personal online banking experience. Available for all mobile devices. The Wynwood Islands Bank, now your online banking partner in progress.
Who you for?
The United Nations promotes equity instead of equality. The figure or the graph that you see maybe can illustrate it nice. You see the little one there, that's St. Martin. You see the Netherlands on the left, and in the middle, let's say, is Curacao. They all want to participate in the kingdom, in the development, and all want to enjoy the same quality of life. But you see, all are standing on a little block. Now, St. Martin can't make it, can't see it. Started unequal at 10-10-10. So how can we help St. Martin that St. Martin also can participate more equal? And that is, the Netherlands should give their block to St. Martin so that they can be now a little higher and that they also can see the same as the Netherlands and the ones in Curacao. When Curacao got all what was from the Netherlands Antilles, the St. Martin politician said, This is not fair. We should get more assistance for us to get a better start. If they had argued with the equity principle instead of the equality principle, if they had started to use the defense for ourselves, that we have equal rights in the kingdom and that should be respected so that we all can participate on an equal footing, then this picture would have been added with insistence for them to defend our right. So if the cost of living in St. Martin, in Bonaire, is the same as in St. Martin, then we can use the whole list that the NIBUD brought for the people in Bonaire as a reference budget. Transparency International used that criteria. They said because there is no poverty line defined for here, let us look at, okay, let us use the norm from Bonaire then. And then he said, that means to say, based on the data from the census of 2011, that at that time, more than 9,641 households would have been in poverty. Their conclusion was it is only 75%. So using the NIBUD norm means more than 75% of the households live under the poverty line. This was discussed in the earlier parliamentary session that we had with you all. A lot of questions came from all parliamentarians, but the bottom line is based on these data. But now the poverty increased in St. Martin because the statistical department of government from the Tourism and Economic Affairs Department came with a household budget survey from 2015. Of the 14,000 households, they concluded that more than 13,000 households, which is 94%, have now less than the NIBUD norm of 4,000 guilders. We did not index, the Statistical Bureau did not index with the cost of living. They just maintained the same thing as established for Bonaire and said that this is then the case in St. Martin. This is more than the census data of 2011. More than 3,360 families extra, having not enough to survive, according to the Dutch Institute of Budget Information for Bonaire, with the understanding that they say if the cost of living in St. Martin is the same as in Bonaire. What is the consequence when we look at the reasoning here in the country? When we talk about minimum wage, it is in this parliament that was discussed to raise the minimum wage to a living wage. Why? When we look at the minimum wage level of 1,500 guilders that we have in St. Martin, that means to say that 19,407 persons, at least, earn minimum wage or less.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
In my opinion, everything is perfect and you would be great for the job. But I see here that there's a 2-year gap in your resume. What did you do?
I was hospitalized for mental illness.
Oh, mental illness?
I've undergone treatment and I have a wonderful family that supports me.
Well, that is good news.
No, it's fine. I'm recovered.
We'll contact you, okay?
For a better understanding of mental health and what you can do to stop mental health stigma, please go to the Mental Health Foundation's website at www.mhf-sxm.com.
We are continuing with the finalization of the construction drawings for the hospital. That work is continuing. There's been work on topographic and soil samples in terms of making sure that the site conditions are proper, that it's all properly engineered and matches for our design criteria, so that ground preparation or site work continues. There's a mock-up room that has been built. So we build a not two-scale, we build an actual size model of 2 of the rooms of the hospital. Again, in order for the design process that we can verify that the dimensions are correct, that the doorways are in the right place, where the bathroom's situated, that they can move the beds in and out, that they can move patients in and out as anticipated. That process in terms of verifying our layouts of the room continues. As well as the work that the World Bank has funded in terms of the work in the current SMMC. So in terms of the reinforcement of the roof and some of the repairs and upgrades that are going on at the hospital as we speak. So what now? Based on project management and together with SMMC and together with the financiers, so this is an opinion based on consultation. This has also been coordinated by the agent or the administrative and security agent for the lenders. This is the NIB. The NIB, to be clear, because there's some comments in the media about the involvement of ENYA as a financier of the hospital. ENYA is not a financier of the hospital. No portion of the ENYA group is financing any part of the hospital. The NIB offers a service. They're an administrator that coordinates between the various lenders. So you have, I think, 9 different lenders. Their role is to synchronize, to communicate, and to regulate the agreement that the lenders have all come together with. So each of the lenders have signed, let's call it sort of a master agreement, and it's the administrator, it's the agent who regulates how that's actually managed and how it's executed.